What up, you guys? Your boy Wolf Sage. Welcome to Daydream, where daydream, they drip, and when they drip, they create. It's all a process. What up, you guys? You know, just from the video, and shout out to YouTube, shout out Instagram. I'm streaming on both videos, on both platforms. I mean, I'm streaming on both. And yeah, if you're on Instagram, I'm telling you right now, this topic is definitely going to be about, and I'm gonna type it in, but you guys on YouTube know, black people, we need Dahmer. We needed Jeffrey Dahmer, okay? So, as far as, why I want to talk about this topic, you know, it's not what you think, okay? Black people need Dahmer because this was a great way for us to see that, hey, there's a lot of things that are going on in life. There's a lot of things that are going on in this world that us as black people don't have control over. Like, we just don't. We just don't. As far as media, as far as getting our narratives out there, as far as, having the type of, control over our art or even just how we're presented in the media, that doesn't happen. Dahmer, I didn't like it, okay? Only reason I didn't like it was just because I knew that the victims weren't going to be able to get their just due. And I mean just due as in they're not seeing any money off of this. They're not getting any closure off of this. They're actually going to be going off and probably being very sad and very lonely at the fact that, hey, I have to relive my family members' deaths on TV. Everyone gets to make TikToks, everyone gets to make videos, everyone gets to, profit off of the love that I lost. And that's not right. It really isn't right. And I loved what Dahmer did because it just showed us that this is where we need to go. We need to go into, a mind state of we need to control the narrative. We need to be able to band together just the way Jewish people, just the way Asian people, just the way other cultures are able to band together and say, hey, you guys are putting this narrative out about us. We don't like it. If you don't cancel it, you don't take this off the platform, if you don't push that, you won't be getting our money. You won't be getting that black following, that POC following. And for all the people that are just racist, they're going to love it. They're just going to it doesn't matter to them. If something doesn't affect you in the same way that, if something doesn't affect you in a way that affects others, you're gonna have a hard time sympathizing with them. You're gonna have a hard time getting on that side and saying, hey, you're wrong. You're wrong. No one likes that. No one, you know, and I just got on here because, like, honestly, hearing all that stuff and hearing that, people have to think like this. People have to be like, okay, I know that, hey, that one day, yeah, yeah. They're like, one day I have to, if I go through something and it's put out publicly out there in the news and everything, because this is a new, true crime dramas is a thing. A lot of people, we don't see the faces. We don't get the biggest, news broadcasts when it comes to, like, 60 seconds or all these other small little datelines. So it's hard for us to even sympathize with those people because we don't see them on the news every day. We don't see, my wife is a killer, or my husband, I didn't know he was a killer. We don't get to see these shows where they're talking about these names and these people aren't getting out there because there's not so much exposure. But even me being in Milwaukee, I've seen these people who live here who are like, damn, why? Why do we have to live over this again? Why do we have to see all this tragedy, all this bad nonsense just go on, and you guys get to profit, you guys get to make videos, you guys get to, just go on with your day. This is entertaining for y'all. It's entertaining for y'all to just see people's body parts, see people's, families get talked to, treat a certain way, because that's the whole thing. This is triggering to a lot of people of color. Just the way in that show, because I did see some of it. I knew the story, but just seeing how people were depicted, even that black woman who had to sit there and hear those people being tortured, those people being killed, ripped apart, and then have this dude bring a sandwich, a human sandwich to them, and try to get them to eat it. I'm just like, if this was a show where you guys were trying to show, oh, this is how Hitler thought. This is how Hitler was raised because he was an artist and his art, they didn't like his art. And oh, this girl didn't like him. And oh, his parents didn't like him about that. If we showed all that stuff, Do you know how many people would be like, what the hell are you doing, trying to sympathize with this damn murderer? But with black people, they don't do that. Black people, we gotta fight. We gotta not whine, but we gotta like just scream and shout just to get people to listen. And honestly, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that because, to be truthful, the the one thing that does talk to people is money, is power, is equity. The only reason Dave Chappelle was able to get the Dave Chappelle show, to get his ownership over that show or on Netflix and stuff, is because he had power. He had a fan base that like we, most of our parents, most of our older siblings, even me, we grew up watching this dude on TV. We end up watching this dude say, "Hey, he gave us so many laughs. He gave us so many, memorable skits and everything. That the fact that you guys aren't giving him his just due, the fact that you guys aren't giving him his pay, we're like, no, you ain't gonna do that." So he has the clout. Dave Chappelle was able to push that and able to get his ownership within there. But as far as Dahmer, those people, and maybe someone on here can tell or even comment in the comments. But tell me, other than the people that are close to these people, how many of these victims' families have gone online and been able to monetize, not monetize on the death, or be able to come out and tell their side of the story, to be able to express how they're feeling? Because honestly, that documentary didn't. It only really showed how he was. They tried to sympathize with him. You guys, it makes no sense because I'm just like, why are y'all doing this? He don't. He was, first of all, his dad messed him up. Yes, he should have. His dad even said it in the documentary, and I don't even know if it's true or anything, but he even said it. I'm the reason why you're like this. I shouldn't have told you how to, open animals up and how to play with this organs and that, or and not be in your life and dealing with your mom and everything. I messed this up. But you saw how when he put his book out, everyone was like, nope, we getting that piece of that because you are monetizing off of our deaths. Your son took our family members out of this world. And the fact that you think that you can be able to monetize off of that, get money, which is probably going to be in the millions because people love, serial killers, especially white ones. I can't believe y'all. Some of y'all white people be really thinking that, oh, just because he looks like one of us, that he just looks like a nice guy, this and that he can't be a killer. But y'all see a kid like me in glasses, and I don't even look scary. You see a story about me doing some crazy stuff, and you're gonna be like, I don't know. You're like, of course. Of course he did this. Of course he did that. Knowing goddamn well that Jeffrey Dahmer is just another twisted mind. It doesn't matter his childhood. It doesn't matter how messed up he is in the brain. He did what he did, and that was sick. Because y'all wouldn't be doing that for Hitler. Y'all wouldn't do that for King Leopold. Well, actually, you probably would do that because that dude killed 15 million Congolese. Not even like killed them, cut their arms off, doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff that I can't even repeat on here. But I bet you guys will do a whole documentary saying, oh, King Leopold went through this, they went through that. It's all this, but this is why I go back to it. Black people needed Jeffrey Dahmer because we needed to be showed that our lives really it don't matter. Not even our lives, but our thoughts, our matters, our feelings don't matter when it comes to social media, when it comes to real people in life. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I want us to be able to come together and be like, hey, instead of us having to deal with this and having to be every time a show like this drops and suddenly we're on here talking to a bunch of people that don't care, while those people are getting rich off of the reactions and the people coming back on there on the streaming services just looking at this. I don't want us to have that be sitting there all defenseless like that. I want us to actually have the power to be able to change and push. If you guys don't like what these platforms are doing, don't be on them. Or because we know how, these social media and these platforms and everything goes, or even these streaming networks goes, we got to promote the things that we care about, the things that are going to push our culture. I'm not saying all this to be all like, oh, the other cultures, their lives and everything and how they see stuff isn't, intuitive, or it doesn't matter. But for us, we have to have that sort of community where all of us can come together. I know people are going to say NCAA and all these other Black Lives Matter type groups, but to be honest, a lot of those groups, they're different agendas, even though they are going for all of us. But with the Black community, we are so stuck on leaders. We're so stuck on celebrities being our leaders. We're so stuck on just like pulling it out the bootstrap, because a lot of us don't get how the system works. A lot of people are still on that American dream, on that like, oh, if I work hard enough, I'll be able to make it. If I do this, I'll be able to make it. Or some people just give up. Like I even me looking at the situation with Tory Lanez, and even if you guys don't know about him, like Tory Lanez, he's an artist. He's getting a lot of controversy because he may or may not have assaulted Megan Thee Stallion. As far as him being blackballed in the society, a lot of people think it's just, oh, just whatever. He's just dealing with this. He's just, you know, him not having him being a lot of people don't have control over the system. A lot of people think that, hey, everything is fair, everyone is on the same battlefield, and there's no, advantages towards certain people and certain things. A lot of people, especially in these companies, have they're boys clubs, not even boys clubs, but they're people clubs. Really depending on, football, definitely a boys club, but most of these it's a shaking hand sort of thing. So even if not in music, if we're talking about streaming services, how many of you really think that the people that worked at Netflix have never worked at HBO, or never worked at, Apple TV, or never worked at, Amazon or whatnot? All these people are coming together and are just switching seats. So if there's favoritism, if there's people that are in power that can say, hey, I think the audience will like this, I think our audience will like that, I only want to push this, push that, and then screw everything else. Do you think that's fair? Do you think people are going to be able to actually like present themselves and show themselves actually being able to show their truths in any way? And I know it's like I'm trying to put us all together because it's such an emotional topic, because every time we go and talk to people and tell people like, hey, you need to, if you don't like what these platforms are doing, you need to stop supporting them. Like I don't even have a Netflix account. I use friends accounts. I don't because I don't, what they push towards me, I don't want to see. And when I see things like Jeffrey Dahmer getting like people on TikTok being all like, oh, I feel so sorry for him, I feel this is and that, and then I go and look at the actual content, and you don't even have the people that actually got like affected talking on there. You just have some biopic, and this is just him being like, oh, he's getting all these letters, he's getting all this praise, he's getting all this and that, all in a documentary. And do you think that's really showing who this person is? Do you think the people that are pushing this content want these men, these white men, to be looked a certain way? Even for, what's that dude? That dude from Waco, or the dude that he got an eye tattooed in the middle of his face. Whatever. I can't remember these crackers. I can't. I can't. It's so hard. But they'll push these dudes. They'll say, "Oh, he's handsome." Y'all know him. This is the dude. Not Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, he's a good-looking white dude who was going around to campuses, and he was like killing girls, snatching them up, taking them, pretending he was in like he was handicapped and all that stuff. But just because of his face, just because of how pretty he looked, guess what? They were like, no, he couldn't have been a killer. How could he? How could he do this? It's really that, it's that form of, trying to figure out, or trying to say, hey, this is not even like whitewashing, but like white saviors, and we're trying to figure out how can a white man do this, when really they're just like any other psychopath. All you guys that want to be like all lives matter, and all lives this, all lives that, but y'all don't realize that the world ain't like that. If y'all don't realize that the system ain't like that, that if majority of the people that run these systems have a specific color, they have a specific background, they have specific beliefs, if we're talking religion, don't you think there's certain things that are going to fall in line in what they want to push and what they want to promote and what they want to do? Do you really think they're just going to be like, oh, we're just going to be just open for everyone? Everyone can be out there. And even in YouTube, even me talking to people right now, I got like 88,000 subscribers, but only 5 people are in here now. Like nothing on Instagram. But like, am I supposed to just believe that this is all fair and like my stuff doesn't get pushed out to people in need? No. And I understand that all that, people like to make the argument that, oh, it's your content, oh, it's the people, it's the things you post, this is and that. It don't matter. If I got 88,000 people, 88,000 people should automatically get this notification that I went live, especially as a black creator. But then if it shows that, hey, these people that really their content really ain't no different. They're just like the regular old Tyler and Amy and Caitlin and all those stuff. They're the same ones, but they still get all these, push and support. That kind of shows where the system is pushing towards. It kind of shows where the system is thinking when they're like, hey, it doesn't matter if this one group doesn't like what's going on. Our bigger group, the people we are trying to entertain towards, these are the people we want to push. And let me put it like this, because it might sound confusing, it might sound like I'm just gibbering jabbering, but look at this. Go on Instagram. What do you see when you first, before you say you didn't even log in, and you just went to the home page, and this is your first time with Instagram and everything? What do you see first? You see what they want you to see. And what they want you to see, do they look like me? Do you see a nigga in his car with his New York Yankees hat on, or a black guy in a suit talking about politics and this and that? Do y'all see that a lot? Because I don't. I see the twerking. I see the white girl doing this. I see the white boy doing that. Even some of these art stuff, art Instagram reels that I be seeing. I be like, y'all know damn well that I don't even follow these people. I don't even like these art. Some of y'all be doing these abstract arts and stuff and be getting like 80,000 views on it. And I'm like, huh? Huh? And y'all don't even have the same amount of following as me. Not to say on Instagram I got like a lot of following, but like I got one video that's got like 30 something million views on my YouTube page. It's a short. And it has black people in it, but guess what they're doing? They're talking about Bud. And I'm like, compared to that video, compared to another video where I'm talking about, hey, this is some empowering shit. This ain't just for black folks, it's for everyone. Just want to, put this out into the world just so people can have fun, just so people can see what we have to offer. That stuff don't get nothing. That's why it'd be hard for me to post, because I'm like, all y'all want to see is just negative. When it comes to black folks, when we look at this stuff and we watch it and we put time and hours and we make videos on this stuff, that's the only time these people are willing to hear. That's the only time these people are willing to listen to us and actually say, hey, we hear you. No, I just want us to do better. That's the whole point. I just want us as a people to do better. I want us to come together as a community, because you guys, I'm telling you, the only reason the Jewish community gets what they want, the only reason the Asian community gets what they want, the only reason the white community gets what they want is because they have a system. They have principles. They come together. They don't let all this bull shit come in between us. You guys are worrying about what Kanye West is doing. Y'all worrying about his kids. Y'all worrying about Gucci. Y'all worrying about all these other companies that you have no equity in. You have no money in. They don't care if you drop dead tomorrow. As long as your kids, your family members, some of your friend zone is like buying what they want, or looking at what they want to see, they don't care. So when I see our people and I see so many black people getting so upset over a documentary, and they see how these white people are going off and being like, oh, like I love Dahmer, this and that. Like, who cares? That's them. They like, we should know already. Some certain white people can't be saved. Some white people are just going to love the toxicity. They're just going to love the killers in themselves. They're going to love how this system is set. And it's sad, but that's just how white folks are. That's how a lot of people are. There's a lot of anti-blackness that goes on. And I don't say that to say like, oh, people need to change, people need to do this. Yes, they need to change, but I also understand that I can't change everyone. I'm not one of these people like the those dudes that be those black dudes that be going into the KKK and trying to save people, or trying to go into these white spaces and save people, get them on their side. I can't. I don't have no time for that. All I can do is think about what the next black person, what the next person of color is doing to be able to change their life. Really, that's all I can be able to do. A lot of y'all just want to, and I always said this, integration was the worst thing that happened to African Americans because we lost our sense of independence. A lot of us, we just, I mean, the fact that Martin Luther King did not want to support all those black taxi drivers is insane to me. The fact that we would not hit them where it hurts, in their pockets, by supporting the black buses, supporting the black taxi drivers, supporting all those black transportations. It doesn't matter if they were in a different state. We could have all gotten together and pushed and brought that over to Montgomery. We could have gotten all that and gotten it over to Chicago, gotten it over to this place, that place, all these different things we could have done. And I get it because we've done it before. Tulsa is a great example. There was millionaires, maybe billionaires at that time who were living economically within their own circle, was able to push their neighbors, help their neighbors grow, help their neighborhood grow. And they didn't have to go into no white neighborhoods. But once that got destroyed, once people like Martin Luther King and all of them, and even he figured it out, he was like, this is classism. We're all focused on race, but really that's how they get us, the rich gets us to kind of go against each other. Because honestly, the rich, there's no color unless, most of them are white and they just turn out to be racist. But when money talks, money talks. That's why you see dudes like Diddy, you see Cal, you see all these black folks, Dr. Dre, they're all, bumping shoulders with these billionaires. Meek Mill bumping shoulders with all these billionaires because money talks. Do you think Meek Mill would be chilling out with these billionaires if he was just, Meek from the streets, Meek from Philly? If he wasn't a superstar, if he didn't have the money he was to be able to get around these certain people, he wouldn't be. A lot of us will never get to that point. A lot of us will never get to that, time where, into that stage where we can just be, not judged or not. And it's sad because a lot of us are just going to fall into the same pit, even though I keep talking about it. But a lot of us will not be able to make it through this time. A lot of us are going to see that, hey, I've tried so much. I've tried so many times to be able to try and, be with these people, try to, teach people, try to like change people's minds about me. And it just shows that, damn, that's not how it's going to be. That's not how it's going to turn out to be. We're not going to, convince these people, convince these companies to change their ways, because they're not. They're just going to say, hey, you don't like what we're doing? F off. Go somewhere. Like, why are you complaining? You don't we don't care. We make our money off of other things, off of community, off of people pushing our agendas and everything. It doesn't matter what you think and what you're going through and everything, because you have no control over here. You don't push this. Just the way in my house. You can't come into my house and tell me how to hang my TV, how to have my couch, how to have my animals and this and that. Even if you making money in here, even if I got something in here, I don't know, like, some money in here, stashed in here, and every time you bring it in here, you're just like, oh, putting it in, putting it in, putting it in. I'm gonna be like, bruh, I got all the money here. This is the stash house. This is my house. I own this. You're just using it because you can't put your money in your own house, bro. And I'm sorry, but that's how it goes. But instead of me whining and complaining about it, I just want to be able to have my own platform. I want to be able to have my own say and be like, hey, if I don't want to see this, I don't have to see it. I can go on to places like Fanbase and be able to see the people that I want to see. And I'm just sad because black people we really need that platform that's going to push us to the next level, that's going to push us away from the white media, or from the mainstream media that just doesn't care about us. But for us to get there, we got to know our worth. We got to know what it is that we bring to the table. And we change we shift culture, we push culture so fucking hard. We put, people on, like, we put people on a pedestal that, like, I can only wish that I can get. Like young boy fans, I wish I could have his fans, because he can just drop a 1 minute song just talking on there and it'll get a million views. He can just there's so many people that like that. And I'm like, I wish black people could be able to have that sense of community where we know that, hey, we are connected to each other and we can be able to thrive off of each other and be able to live, and we don't have to go to that other side. F them. Keep that stuff over there. You want to be racist, you want to be the person you want to be, you want to be just a horrible person, let them be that. So when I see Jeffrey Dahmer, when I see these white folks, talking about how Jeffrey Dahmer is so cool, how Jeffrey Dahmer's this, that, all just like a big fluff cake and everything. When I see them talking about Jeffrey Dahmer like that, I'm like, of course. You can't see someone that looks like your dad doing this. You can't see someone that looks like your brother doing this. You can't see someone that looks that attractive doing this to people. But they can. They've always done this. Now they're doing it just promoting on our what's it called? They're promoting our suffering. They're promoting our hurt, our pain. And that shit sucks, because I'm just like we don't need this. We don't need to do that. That's why I don't go and see slave movies, because it's just for white people to be able to sit there and be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, they really did that. Ancestors did that. People back then really hated each other. They really treated each other like animals. Oh my God, I can't believe it. No, no, nigga, it did happen. I don't know how to tell you this, but there were horrible people back in the day. Just the way kings and queens thought it was okay to just procreate with each other, just to keep the bloodline going. You know how we thought that was cool, and now we see that it's messed up. Well, honestly, with Game of Thrones and the way y'all be pushing that show, and even the House of Dragon show, it kind of shows that some of y'all are really trying to go back to that, because ooh, just be careful what Reddit threads you go through, guys. Because like you'll go through some Reddit threads and they'll have you feeling like you need to take a bath after that. Like I looked through some of these Reddit posts and stuff about Game of Thrones and about the House of Dragons, and I'm just like, I couldn't even talk to my mama after that. I was like, Mama, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you, because like the stuff that I saw, the people that I've seen, I'm just like, no wonder Jeffrey Dahmer got the fame that he did. No wonder what his name, and I really wish I could remember these dudes' names. Jeffrey Dahmer, okay, Kemper, something like that. Kemper, he wasn't a good looking dude, but what was that other motherfucker? I really wish there was more people in these lives just to be able to, comment and tell me these names, because I just really don't know these serial killers. But I've seen so many people just try to, try to understand and try to figure out the psyche and be able to be like, oh no, they're trouble, they're this, and that. Black people, we don't get that. You saw how in the documentary or in that show Dahmer, where those cops saw this kid just because he was gay and he was a person of color, just from this white guy telling them like, oh no, he's my boyfriend, oh no, this is how we do this stuff. They saw a man, a young boy, a young man limping out of the out of in the hallways. They saw him limping outside. They were like, this kid, he can't, we're not even trying to listen to what he's trying to say. And this black woman is over here trying to tell us that there's something wrong with this kid is not safe. Aren't you guys going to do something? That's triggering. And to see and to watch him just being pushed and pulled into that room like that, I'm like, God damn it, why did that have to happen to that kid? Why did that have to happen to all those other young black men who, even if you religious and you don't agree with their sexual preference, for them to go out like that, body parts missing, they can't even have an open casket in certain cases. Some people can't even bury a body. They can't even bury a body. But suddenly, just because this shit just happens and people are just okay with like people being treated like this. Like I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And we just need to stop supporting these platforms. We need to stop supporting these people that are on this bullshit and just, just work for ourselves. Not even work for ourselves, work together. Because honestly, that's how these other groups are. They work together. They put their skill sets, they put their mindsets, they put their equity together, and they make sure that no one can take advantage of them. They make sure that no one, Jewish people, you go on there, you go on NBC, you go on, put out a Netflix show that's talking about the Holocaust and try to make sense. Try to you make sense of why Hitler did this. Try to make sense of why those soldiers shot all those innocent people, why they put them in ovens, why they did all that. Try to do that. You will get canceled the next day. You will get fired the next day. No one is going to no one is going to even want to listen to you. They're going to be like, you are disgusting. I don't know how you can do this. Yada, yada, yada. They'll say all this same shit. But when black people do it, you guys need to get over it. It happened a long time ago. Why are you still mad? Just say no. Just say all this other bullshit that I'm sick of hearing. I'd rather not support it. I'm not giving my money to Netflix. I'm not giving my money to certain these, like a lot of y'all be talking about Gucci and all that stuff. I'm like, first of all, a lot of y'all can't even afford Gucci. And Gucci and all those, Louis Vuitton folks, they were racist. They didn't care about you at all, whatsoever. They don't care, what your mama went through, what your granddaddy went through, what you went through, what your ancestors went through. All they care about is this money. But you guys just keep giving it to them. And after a while, I'm gonna stop feeling sorry. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you have an account with Netflix? Oh, but you're mad though, right? Oh, but you like this other show though. So you're still gonna give money because even if you don't watch that show, you're still that $15, $17 that's coming, every month out of your account, that is supporting that show. That is supporting those people that are going to be like, yeah, even if this show didn't work, even if Dahmer didn't work, is there another serial killer we can do? Is there another person we can put on the spotlight and be able to show and give like sympathy towards? Because I want someone to tell me who is there any black serial killer shows that they're being this sympathetic for? I want to know. I really do. Because it's a damn shame and I'm just like, what can you do? What can you do really? But just not support. So I really do think that we as black people need a Jeffrey Dahmer. Just so it's just a reminder. Just a reminder of how life treats us, how people treat us, how society don't care about us. Because if Netflix actually cared, they would have brought those people onto the platform and actually, or onto the show and actually talked about how it felt. Even if we did get the same scenes and when they did do the biopic of Jeffrey Dahmer, at least having those people come in and say, this is how that made me feel during that time. This is how that made me feel during that time. Even that black woman, and I don't even know if she really like stormed and jumped on him, but just knowing, just her giving her testimony about her brother, her sister, or her cousin that was killed by him, just to see how she felt in that moment, just to get a good idea of like the impact that it had on her, that would have changed it for me. That would have made it seem like, okay, you guys are doing this for these victims because now it's not just focused on him. These people, the viewers now have to look at these people in the eye and say, hey, you did something, you are a real victim and you are going through pain. It matters what you feel like. It matters what you went through. It matters what these people, what Jeffrey Dahmer did. We're not going to make him a martyr. We're not going to feel sorry for him. Yes, I can, if we really look at it as a human being and be like, damn, it sucks that this dude, he was a loser. His mind wasn't there. His parents didn't help to nurture and mature him in anything. If anything, you're just trying to show that, hey, those people, those family members that lead those lives, that you end up being like, oh shit, I gotta I'm trying to wonder why my kid is a killer. Look at those stereotypes. Look at how your parents treated you. Look at how you're treating your kid, and then ask yourself, damn, am I going to be making the next Dahmer? That's how I wanted people to be able to, look at that show, which I thought it was. I thought people were going to be able to look at it and be like, damn, maybe I shouldn't neglect my son. Maybe I shouldn't be teaching my kid who barely sees me in their life just how to open up bodies and not how to open up themselves. How to say, hey, I'm hurting. Hey, I'm mad. Hey, I got these feelings. I think the realest thing that came out of that show was the fact that his dad was able to say, hey, this is my fault, son. Even though you did it and I really think and I understand a dad, he's gonna want to tell his kid that he did bad. The parents gonna want to tell you did bad, but that is your seed that came from you and it's gonna be hard. But for me, I had to look at myself and be like, damn, I made you like this. This is my fault. You have to take responsibility, but I also have to take responsibility and teach and push. I would have never had that book come out. I would have put that book out and I would have said that 80% of the funding is of the revenue that comes from this book is going to those people, to the families. Just so I can show that, hey, I as a white man, I did not want this to happen. I did not want my son to become a killer, become a cannibal, to be known like this, because then that looks bad on me. I feel so sorry for the white folks that ain't trying to be racist, ain't trying to be just a foot on people, black people and people of color's necks, because like it's like this don't look good on y'all. It should be embarrassing. I want more white people to come out and say, no, that's not cool. That's not good. We need to, if we want it to be all lives matter, we need to start acting like all lives matter. We need to start acting like shit matters. We need to act like we care about when these people that we known, that we messed up and that have gotten a bad rep all these years can do right. They can be better. But some of y'all just, no action is the same as action. You not saying something, you not, putting, you're not stepping forward and saying, no, this is wrong. You might as well have just given him a knife. You might as well have just been that those police officers that just led that kid back into that house. That's what you literally are. You are literally just one of those officers who let that little boy back into Dahmer's clutches. And then he ended up getting a drill in the head. It's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Like, yeah. As far as like Instagram, my phone is about to die, so I'm gonna turn this off. But thank you guys. Y'all have a good night, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Yeah, but as far as, working on here, working with talking to you guys on here, on YouTube, I just want us to do better. I just want us to be better. I want us to have a better protection because no one else is going to do that. Yes, we need to take care of ourselves first, but we also got to think of all of us as a total because we all get affected the same way. When when one person messes up, it reflects on the whole group. Just the way when it comes to cops. It's not the fact like we know that other cops are doing what they can. We know there's certain cops. I've met a lot of cops that are doing what they can do, what they're trying to do. They're trying to just protect and serve. But because of a few or a lot or just a strong number, a group of cops that have power, that have push, they can't do that now. They can't say what they want to say. They can't defend who they want to defend because they're going to be looked at as a traitor. They're going to be looked at as you're going against us. You're going against the blue wall and stuff. Well, no, I'm doing what I swore to do. I swore to protect someone. To, I swore to serve and protect these people. And for you to stop me or to tell me that I got to target certain people, I got to let certain people go, certain profiles, certain people of this stature, they just can't get touched. Does that sound like a system that you want to be a part of? You as the white person watching this, if the cops were just like, oh, any black person, it doesn't matter, like any black person who does anything wrong, we're not going to do anything about them because of slavery. You guys would be so mad. You guys would be so mad about that. They'll be like, why? What do you mean? They can still rob, steal, and cheat and kill and do all that stuff. That doesn't put them against different than us. Well, that's how we look at y'all. Because we're like, y'all would do the same thing. Y'all do the same thing even worse to each other. Y'all will do some of the most grindiest, most ugh, just musky shit that I've ever seen to each other, and y'all still forgive each other. Y'all still go back and forth and be like, hey, this is cool, that's cool. We're gonna forgive, forget. You can, that was the past and everything. I see Louis C.K. going and doing his thing, and I get it. We have to forgive people. I get it. We have to let people pass. But when do we do that for us? We need to. And I'm not talking about just yes, because I want other people to give us that privilege, but I want us as a people to also give us that same you know ability to not forgive and forget, but to forgive and grow, forgive and learn. You know, if I made a mistake, if I accidentally hurt you, I want to have the chance to be able to come back and say, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I wasn't trying to do this to you. Yes, I did something wrong. And yes, I will take those consequences. And yes, I will take my punishment. But my objective, I'm always trying to be the right person. And a lot of people, they just don't want to do it. And it's sad. Not even for their own people. No, I think black people, we definitely need structure. We need a home to come together. We need, things to, put us in a protective space to where we can be able to defend ourselves, but also be able to nurture ourselves and also be able to help ourselves grow. You know, it's just a lot. I just really wanted to come on here and just get that out because it's been itching on me. Every time I open up social media and I see that nigga and I see all these YouTube videos trying to explore and explain what his mind is, and I'm like, it's a damn shame. Because all you white kids, all you white people that are doing that, all you, I get the older white people, they're just gonna be, they're gonna die haters. They're gonna die, just miserable. But for you young white folks, you young Caucasian, Caucasus European folks out there that are doing this, when the future comes, when we start looking at y'all history and people start really judging us as races, as particular races, like, oh, like this race, that race, that race, you guys are going to have a lot of smut on you. You're going to have to do a lot of convincing because that's what a lot of y'all have to do. Y'all have to convince people that you're not racist. You have to convince people that you're not prejudiced. You have to convince people that you're not homophobic. If someone looks at me, maybe because like I'm a black man and, if you grew up in the church, homophobia seemed wrong, but most people would think like, oh, looking at him, he might be homophobic. He's a black man. Because that's how we were raised. We were raised not in a culture of, oh, LGBTQ positivity within the black community. We just haven't. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the LGBTQ community was automatically going to assume that I was homophobic. Of course, if someone thought I was racist, I'd be like, if I am, then there's no helping me because I don't know how I can be racist. But if it's anything else, if it's for you guys got to just realize you guys got to do better. You guys got to teach each other better because if you want it to be all lives, if you want this to be a fair playing ground, we need to stop and we need to get these people out here that are only playing for one side. We need to get these people out here that are not going to be neutral. The police officers who are not being neutral and they are not treating everyone the same and treating them with the same respect or disrespect they deserve, they need to get out of here. I mean, I don't even know if y'all remember this kid. He was a swim kid. I can't even remember what he did. He went to some school for swimming and he went and assaulted a woman in her sleep. And then the judge told him, you're a good kid. I don't want to destroy your future over this one mistake that you did. How is assaulting someone a mistake? Do you know how many steps it takes during that time that are so horrible that you shouldn't have been done and then realize afterwards that this was a mistake? No. From the moment you that even came in your mind to even do that to the moment where you executed it, you were wrong. You were fucking wrong. And for him to just get those, what, 6 months or something like that, or probation, and even if that was a white girl, she gets scarred from that. She gets messed up from that. She can't trust other dudes. Shit. When I think of black women, I'm like, damn, they're the same way. When I see when one nigga does them dirty, when some dude treats them wrong and shit like that, those black women then come to me and be like, "Are you the same? Are you like him? Are you gonna do this to me?" That because I'm just used to that. I'm just used to y'all treating me like that, and I'm like, no, I'm not like that dude. I'm sorry that he don't know how to act and he don't know how to treat you and he don't know how to be a real man and just accept the fact that, hey, you are going through on what this other person is doing is wrong. Just because you can't do it, don't put that on me. I'm trying to be different. I don't want to be seen in the same light as some of y'all. Even with y'all red pill, blue pill motherfuckers, like y'all really care so much about what another woman is doing or not what another man is doing. If that person wants to, be miserable and just wants to, go for the rich person, let them live their life. If they end up being lonely, that's on them. But if they're happy and they're cool doing that, like and this is where I'm like getting into that whole red pill blue pill shit. Like y'all dudes need to stop that shit. Y'all need to get out of here because most of y'all dudes will not get the women that y'all think y'all gonna get. Most of y'all are never going even gonna be in Miami to even come across these girls. Some of y'all, and I get it, some of these people that live in Miami, of course they're around riches. So what else am I gonna want? It's riches. I kind of got it where that 50 Cent son was saying that, oh, $6,700 isn't enough money for me. I kind of get it because his dad is on a level where he's living luxury. He's living this life, that life, and like you're used to that lifestyle. It won't work for me because I'm just like I never lived that way. But for him, he's like, if I see champagne, liquor, bottles, women everywhere, why am I not entitled to that? I am your son. So I see it the same way with the women that are living in Miami and the dudes that are living in LA and all that stuff. They like we just going this is what we have around ourselves. But I'm never going to put myself in the same mindset to think that every woman is like that. Because there are traditional women, but there are also women that don't want to be traditional. And a lot of that stuff is just so toxic and shit. Just let people be who they want to be. Let people do what they want to do. That's why I let those racist white people, they do what they gonna do because I can't change their mind or I don't want to have to make them feel comfortable or make them feel like understand why they're doing something wrong. Because if you don't understand that empathy, you don't understand that pain, that hurt, that, struggle, I'm just talking to a brick wall at that point. So why not just, separate myself, try to, do better for myself and try to, put myself on a platform to where I can be a different person, to where black women or women don't see me as like an Andrew Tate dude. Like people don't see me as a Bill Cosby. People don't see me as, one of these like music executives, these business people that just leech and take from you. I don't want people to see that from me. It's embarrassing. It's a damn shame, you know? And every day it just lets me know that, whatever I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, you know, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. And even if I can't save everyone else, you know, even if I can't tell someone, change someone's mind today, I know I may be able to change someone's mind tomorrow. And maybe that might have an effect on someone in a positive sense. But if I just don't talk, if I don't put myself out there, if I don't say, hey, I don't F with this, I don't fuck with that, I don't mess with this dude, then I'm going to be contributing to this pain, to black people thinking that Dahmer is just cool. Not even black people, because there's some weirdos out there. There's some black weirdos out there just that think he's cool. But most people, they're just like, most of these white people are just like, they're like, oh, like, no, it's not bad to y'all. This was in the past and everything. Y'all shouldn't be like, no, that's not how it works. This is happening now. So this is the feeling is happening now. You're bringing back those old feelings that Dahmer gave to us. You're bringing back those old, you know, problems, those old talks of people that are just saying like, oh, we need to forgive, or we need to understand and realize this person is, just like fucked up. Because then we're going to give excuses to everyone. Why? I'm not. I'm just not. So, just to end this video, I do think black people definitely needed Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer, the documentary definitely needed to be told because it needed to remind us of how much we're worth. And if you feel as a black person or a person of color that was affected by that show, if you feel that your worth is, this small, we need to change that. It should let you know that that can't be nice. That can't be right. We need to flip it on its head. The fact that people have to deal, if you felt affected by this documentary, you should that should have been a wake up call to be like, I need to do what it takes to make sure that I don't feel vulnerable ever again. I need to do what it takes to make sure that next time I raise my voice, next time I say, hey, I don't like this, this is hurting me, this is putting me in a position where I might hurt myself or hurt someone else, we need to be listened to and have the power to do it. And I know people want to change the world and do all this and that stuff, but until y'all ready to go to war, until y'all ready to come together and actually, attack these systems and attack these people's pockets, nothing's going to change. It really ain't. So I hope you watched that. I don't hope you watched it, but I hope if you watched that show that you came out thinking differently, that you came out thinking that, hey, I'm gonna try something different now. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna, do what I can to support the creators, the people that push my agendas that I love and that I cherish, and not be blinded by the colorful, puffy stuff that the mainstream gives, that society likes to push and likes to say that, oh, we're all the same, we're all on the same level, we all have the same opportunities, and no one is, pushing to suppress anyone. No one is trying to do that. Let me tell you this. If you're a Christian, if you're an Orthodox Christian or even a devout Christian, if you do what's told in the Bible and what's taught by the preachers, you're supposed to technically be hating everyone else. You should be trying to you would be trying to, tear some other people down. And I'm not up for that. I'm just not up for that. I just can't be a part of it. Because just the way y'all can be able to do that with religion and be able to just be like, oh, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, or, just picking point at all these little things that don't really make sense, to how did this affect this person? Are you okay with this person just living their life and not trying to push your beliefs on them? If you're not there, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, you guys, I think I've talked enough. You know, please like, subscribe, comment. Please do all this stuff. I really want to get into doing these lives and just being able to do these videos like this, because just coming up and putting this stuff together, because this is not what my channel is about. Daydream and Daydrip is about showing the process and showing how people can be able to create their dreams, be able to express it. That's why I post all these shorts, showing the process, how people think, what their mindset is at. Because I had to get myself at that mindset. When I didn't like how I saw the world, when I didn't like when I heard Black History Month and how we were taking advantage and all this horrible stuff that was happening to us, I put it in my head that I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna do something different. push myself. I'm gonna be on my pro black shit. I'm gonna be on my pro people shit because, you know, this is how I do something good for my ancestors. The people that didn't have this power, the people that didn't have this TV, this video screen to be able to talk to hundreds of people, or even the two people that are in here, and then be able to put it out to the world for more people to hear in the future. No one's going to be able to hear Susan B. Anthony talk and say that, hey, what I'm doing for our people, it shouldn't just be me. It should be all of us. And even those people that are still stuck and, you know, want to stay on the plantation, we need to try and help those people get out that mindset. We need to help those people, you know, even if they don't want to come with us, at least let it be known that, hey, you are a detriment to our people and you can stay. But for the rest of us, we're gonna go. And that's just it. That's just it. So thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Wolf Sage. Please click those links at the bottom. Please support, like, follow, share. You know, tell me what you think. If you, you know, think I'm just blabbering, you know, whatever, I don't care. But if you really like my points, if you really have something that you think that I missed out on and that I'm not seeing or I'm not talking about, please let me know in the comments. You know, it's this is Daydream. Where Daydream, they drip, and when they drip, they create. It's all a process. Peace, y'all.